Well, also tonight, the Oconto Falls School District is responding after former teacher David Heisel voluntarily surrendered his Wisconsin teaching license.
Which comes days after that sixth plaintiff joined the expanded federal suit alleging widespread sexual misconduct in the district. The district says it put Heisel on administrative leave the day it learned about the allegations against him nearly a year ago, adding, quote, before he could be interviewed as part of an internal investigation process, he submitted his unconditional letter of resignation the following week. The district reported the circumstances of his resignation to the Department of Public Instruction immediately after his resignation. Samantha Cavalli joins us with the latest.
It's been less than a month since 3 former students filed a civil rights lawsuit against the Oconto Falls Board of Education, and attorneys say the response since then has been stunning.
And I frankly have been shocked at the number of people who have come forward, not just the 6, named plaintiffs at this point, but all the other witnesses. We have 12 sworn declarations from former teachers and former students now.
On Monday, Disparity Law Group announced former Oconto Falls teacher David Heisel has surrendered his Wisconsin teaching license. That comes just days after a federal judge allowed plaintiffs to file a second amended complaint, one that expands the case to 6 plaintiffs and alleges a pattern of misconduct spanning decades.
We're pleased to see that that teacher did surrender his license, because that tells us that our suit is already having an effect.
Heisel is one of several people named in the suit, along with former volleyball coach Bryn Larson and former high school teacher Gail Gander. Larson was convicted of sexually assaulting a child and served prison time. Gander was arrested in December and later charged in January with sexual misconduct. Casper says the lawsuit is about more than individual claims. It's about pushing for better Title IX investigations, more accountability, and safer schools.
We hope to see more positive changes in that direction going forward, and that's a real testament to the brave women in this lawsuit who have put their names out there and stood up to this system and are causing meaningful, impactful change as we speak.
The district says it continues to review every claim. In Oconto Falls, Samantha Cavalli, Action 2 News.